Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. I'm Stephanie Fisher. I'm a licensed counselor here in the state of Michigan, and I am owner and operator of In Progress Counseling. A starting point that I often use with both emerging adults who are creating kind of life patterns and rhythms, as well as people going through significant life transitions, we talk about the importance of rhythms and routines. Rhythms and routines, they're going to be the foundation of the habits that we create, especially when we go through some type of transition season. And especially when I have people come into adult singleness, we will talk about rhythms and routines that are really quite life-giving, but actually pretty paramount. So when I don't have habits formed and routines and rhythms that I'm looking forward to, I can find a ton of ways to fill my week to week. And often there's a pattern of distraction. There's a pattern of, committing all into one area. So I might go really heavy into entertainment. I might go really heavy into work. I might go really heavy into tasking and distraction. But what can disrupt that is when I start to put things on my calendar consistently that ask something of me in some life domain. And so when I talk to a client who doesn't have a lot of adult community, it's like, hey, you and I can both talk week after week about how that's not for your benefit, but what do we want to do with that? Because I typically don't get a on-ramp into a one and done where I walk away with community. It doesn't work. Community is typically built over consistent habits and patterns and routines and rhythms where I show up week after week and I get more comfortable and I find myself growing in familiarity and then growing in friendliness and then growing into friendship and then possibly growing into community. But that's a very gradual effort over time with consistent proximity. And so I'll often ask my clients, where is that showing up in your life? And they're like, well, I'm available whenever someone wants to call. Okay, that's you being available for someone else's rhythm though. And my concern is if you're not putting your own rhythm together, you're still in a passenger state. You're still in the passenger seat of the car, not yet in the driver's seat of your life. And while that is a way to navigate, it might not yield the benefits you're hoping because active rhythms and routines over time with consistency give us at least proximity to community and to friendliness and to friendships and to close connection over time. But typically we are going to be the ones who have to proactively make decisions that put us in proximity to other people. And so there's a whole host of ways you can do that. You can do that through joining up in one of the local meetup groups and consistently doing that again and again. You can do it through health and fitness and entering into some type of workout community, workout class, some type of recreation. That's a great way to go about it. It can be a matter of checking out your local library and seeing what they're doing. I know some local libraries here every Thursday night, they have some sort of community connect. That's a great thing, but staff would have to start showing up in that. I could join a book club, but staff would have to go through the growing pains of being the beginner and trying something new and then doing it consistently enough so that I'm not the beginner and it's not brand new. There's familiarity and then friendliness and then friendships and then community forming. But that's a gradual over time with repetition type of endeavor. And if my whole calendar is waiting for other people to reach out to me, I'm not establishing my own rhythms. I'm living in other people's rhythms. One of the places I started very early on in my adult singleness was Sundays after church, I would go to brunch at the same place week after week. Number one, they had a delicious omelet. Number two, it was something for me to look forward to. So I would really link it. So the habit of going to church with the habit of going out for brunch, it would take my entire morning, and it was lovely and it was an experience that I enjoyed. And then later on, when I would be finding more friendly people and starting to establish friendships, I would just invite them into a rhythm that was already going for me. So it's like, yeah, come have brunch with me, or don't have brunch with me. I'll sit there and journal, and that's fine too. I love this little experience each week, but it gave me something on my calendar that I was looking forward to, that I actually delighted in, that brought me joy. I don't know what it is for you. Maybe it's not brunch. Maybe it's not a workout class. Maybe it's not some type of craft or recreation. Maybe it's not a book study. I do know that bringing in something that is more habitual, that gives me proximity to people in a repetitive and consistent way, that's often where community starts forming. It's my invitation today to consider, if I'm looking for community, what am I doing to approach others with repetition that allows me to give time for kind of the tendency towards community to actually form?